everyone. I'm Asa Stahl. I'm the Chief Experience and Revenue Officer, and welcome to the California Academy of Sciences. We are so glad to have you here to celebrate the total eclipse and experience a very special intersection of nature, art, and music. A total solar eclipse is one of nature's most awe-inspiring events, and a wonderful reminder of how much we still don't know in the universe and what we can discover. Today, we get to experience that in the most awe-inspiring event with live views from Path of Totality in Iceland, alongside an unforgettable performance by the International Space Orchestra musicians. Scientists, astronauts, engineers, and researchers. There's sometimes a tendency to think science and art as two separate worlds, but both can inspire us and see the world differently, spark curiosity, and help us experience something bigger than ourselves. Today, we get to bring those worlds together. We're absolutely thrilled to have them here at the Academy. We're incredibly grateful to SETI Institute for its long-standing partnership with the Academy that has spanned public science education and scientific research. I'd like to give a special thanks to Dr. Frank, an Academy Fellow, Dr. Frank, and SETI Institute scientists for helping make this opportunity possible. I'd also like to recognize our trustees and Eastwood Associates who are joining us today. Thank you. And thank you again to SETI and the International Space Orchestra and all of you for joining us here today. We hope today leaves you with a sense of awe and wondering. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Lauren.
Hello, everyone. Happy Eclipse. Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you to the California Academy of Sciences for having us here today for this very special edition of SETI Live. My name is Dr. Lauren Sgro. I am a research scientist, mainly focusing on citizen science at the SETI Institute, a nonprofit organization dedicated to expanding our understanding of our place in the cosmos and searching for extraterrestrial intelligence. So thank you so much for having us. I'm joined here today by Dr. Asa Stahl, a science communicator with the Planetary Society, a nonprofit organization dedicated to advocating for the scientific exploration of space. He is a PhD in astrophysics from Rice University, specializing in the search for planets beyond our solar system. So welcome, Asa. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I don't know about y'all, but I am excited to see an eclipse.
Yes.
And we're not just going to witness it with our eyes. We are going to hear from experts, from space scientists, from literal astronauts. We're going to have people on stage and remotely connecting with us, sharing their knowledge, their passion, their expertise, but also, particularly for those remotely, they're going to share their on-the-ground experience of the eclipse itself from two locations, Iceland, well, actually three, Greenland, and Spain. Three different locations along the path of totality. So throughout this show, we're going to be interviewing people up here, people in the audience, people in the orchestra, but also people in the path of totality. So we're not going to just witness this eclipse once. We're actually going to see it twice, once from Iceland and once from Spain, as the moon's shadow passes over Earth. But during totality itself, at the sublime moment when the moon completely covers what we typically think of as the surface of the sun and the sky darkens and we're able to see things we normally can't see with the naked eye, we aren't just going to watch, we're going to hear from the International Space Orchestra.
Yes, the International Space Orchestra, seated in front of you today, is an amazing group of amateur musicians, but also incredible space scientists. They have been playing together for over 14 years, which is amazing. And they've also played for some internationally acclaimed artists like Sigur Rós, Beck, even Kid Cudi. So we're really honored that they're going to be here with us today under the direction of Dr. Nelly Benhayoun Stepanyan and being conducted by two-time Grammy Award-winning musician Evan Price. So thank you to Nelly and Evan. Yes. Woo! And just like Asa said, we're going to hear from the International Space Orchestra during Totality, but right now, as you can actually see on the screen, the eclipse has already started. We're not quite at Totality yet. This is a live feed from Vienna, Austria, from one of our citizen astronomers with the Unistellar and SETI Institute Citizen Science Network. He's sharing his view of the eclipse with us. However, Iceland, which is actually in the path of totality, is getting really, really close to totality. So we're going to go ahead and tune into them and see what it looks like over there and talk to some experts in the field. So let's see, let's bring it up. Oh my gosh. It's cloudy, yeah, that's okay. It's still incredible, and you can actually see the sun coming through the clouds. So the effect of the eclipse is still going to be visible, and people will witness that getting darker, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's not just about a visible thing either. As it gets darker, wildlife will change. Animals might stir because they'll think it's twilight. Oh, you can still kind of see on the stream, you can see the disk of the moon, and that last little bit, this is probably what they call the diamond ring, that last shining piece of sun before there it goes. You can't even see it anymore. Wow.
And we actually have a few people in the field. I wonder if we can connect with them. Granted, we are trying to connect across the world right now. But let's see if we can get Ari Eisenstadt up. Is that possible?
Check,
Whoa.
check. Ari Eisenstadt here.
Hi, Ari.
Aloha from Iceland and the Iceland Eclipse Festival. We are here at the edge of the world. So honored to be with you all. And joined by astronauts from every flight provider, as well as leaders in outer space, inner space, digital space, and community space. But right here, we have Ron Guerin II and Ron Guerin IV joining us and talk about the orbital perspective and dolly zooming and what we get from this total solar eclipse.
Wow, that looks incredible. Hello, Ron. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I don't know if he can hear me.
My pleasure. Yes, it's my pleasure.
Ron, I don't think we can quite hear you. Can you speak up?
He's busy. He has a beautiful baby.
No, they can't hear me. Oh, is it coming through there? Hi, is this any better? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Much better, thank you.
Oh, super. Yeah, we're excited because it's been dark clouds and now we're starting to see it like 2 minutes before. It's been raining and dark and now we're starting to see the eclipse. So we're pretty excited. So is this guy.
Beautiful.
And you've seen Earth eclipse the sun dozens of times from the International Space Station, no? Does that feel anything like a total solar eclipse viewed from the ground?
What's interesting about an eclipse when you see it from space is that you see the shadow of the moon cast upon the Earth. And it's really an incredible experience because you know that everybody in that shadow is experiencing a total eclipse. And we're about to be in that shadow. We're about to be in the center of that shadow, the umbra here, in a couple of minutes, I guess.
Wow. That is just incredible.
People are starting to put their glasses on for the first time today because we've had a lot of clouds and rain today.
We're a little bit muffled. Were you able to understand that?
I was not able to understand that.
That's
Hopefully
okay.
our audience was.
Yeah. This is still an incredible view, and thank you so much, Ron, for being with us today and sharing that. Ron Guerin was
My
actually
pleasure.
in space for over 170 days. Thank you so much. It's incredible.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
I think we're going back to Ari. We're transferring the AirPod, as you can see. And so Ari is actually one of the organizers of the Iceland Eclipse event, which is this amazing event on Snæfellsnes Peninsula in Iceland. He is a space futurist and teaches at the University of Hawaii, therefore the aloha at the beginning of his talk, and teaches astrobiology, so he is very much in the space realm. Are you still with us?
I am. And again, we're so thrilled to be here and have these relatively clear skies. Iceland we've been here for the last month having an analog mission, imagining what the future of humanity in space could look like from a creative perspective. And we've had some intense weather that has been emergency situations of putting everyone in shelter. And the incredible team here has put this amazing show on. So thank you all for bearing with us through the technology. And yeah, excited to be sharing this special moment with you all.
Amazing. Are there any particular aspects of this festival you've organized that you're proud of, above all?
I think what's really exciting again is the diversity. We talk about having astronauts and astrologers here together, that we can explore the future of art and science together with indigenous wisdom and the past of humanity, and really getting to have that overview effect experience. The closest thing we can get to being in space is our perspective. And bringing us together as a human race, that while we're still searching for non-human intelligence, imagining, how can we be the aliens we want to see in the universe? So that's kind of our vision about creating these celestial events around the world.
That has got to be such an amazing experience there, even with the clouds. You may not be able to see the sun's corona during totality, which we'll talk about in a bit, but to be surrounded by all those people has got to be just fantastic. And I see that you're also on the platform that you're viewing from. You have a unistellar telescope there. Are people viewing through the telescope or trying to, despite the clouds?
It looks like for the first
ones?
time it's clear enough to see from this beautiful unistellar telescope. We have a wonderful group here, and are so excited to view this footage. We are also so grateful to the Dorothy Project and Space for Humanity that have 2 stratospheric balloons at 100,000 feet right now. So we're excited to share that footage that we'll be able to share in high definition virtual reality for planetariums to headsets.
Wow, so there's multiple different ways to experience the eclipse today.
We can see it getting darker already. How does it feel there on the ground?
Yeah, I know Iceland is cold, but I wonder if it's getting even colder.
And if we pan around, you can see all the people now going quiet.
Whoa.
You can see the beautiful glacier.
Very, very cool.
Everyone, oh
wow,
my
the
gosh.
low-lying fog. It looks like SF.
Oh my gosh.
And if you keep spinning around, you can look at our dome and all the people on the hill. You can look at the North Atlantic Ocean, feeling the temperature change. And we're hoping for a big solar wind right now for maybe some aurora action.
Oh yes, they're looking for aurora in Iceland as well. Do you think we can see that even with clouds? I don't know much about aurora.
I mean, it looked like we could see the green glow a little bit before, just through the stream, which would be incredible. If that's being able to pick up on camera, it must be very strong in person. And I know that there are scientists in Iceland in the path of totality trying to record the aurora borealis during the eclipse when it gets completely or much darker during totality, because there's science to be done there too.
Exactly. And I believe there's even a citizen science program for people to observe as well. And that moment is like really, really quickly approaching. We also saw Mario's live stream from Vienna. You saw the disk of the sun closing in even more. They're not going to see totality, but Iceland is. So we're approaching that moment right now, it looks like. So much darker.
Yes, we're only about 1 minute away from totality in Iceland. But I think for now, Ari, we're going to say goodbye and turn her over to the International Space Orchestra over here. We'll be back with you in a moment.
Thank you so much, Ari.
Okay.
Right. Wow, that's the moment, I think.
Yeah, I think they're just about hitting totality now. So we are go for ISO. wow, that was incredible. I can tell you, I have seen a total solar eclipse in person before, and that is what it feels like. They captured it.
I think so, absolutely. They were incredible, and right when they finished, it seemed like Totality was finishing up in Iceland, and we can see the sun coming back through the clouds.
Yeah, for those of you on the live stream, if you thought that the stream broke and it was just a black screen, that was Totality with clouds.
Exactly. I wonder if Ari is still around and we can talk to him about what that experience was like.
Ari, you there? No?
No,
All right, well,
they can't hear us.
There he is. Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
Hi, can you guys hear us okay?
Really?
Yes, is this Amaresh?
Yeah. This is Amaresh Palapara. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Hello, it's so
There's a
nice
little bit
to
of a
have you
delay,
here.
so apologies.
Sure.
Yeah, so thank you so much for hosting this wonderful event. I'm the chair of the SETI Institute, and we just experienced a wonderful solar eclipse for the whole totality. Even with the cloud, it was actually quite remarkable, and it was truly a amazing experience. And we have a wonderful collection of scientists, astronauts, futurists, and free thinkers that are joining us today for the festival.
That is amazing. And
And we're still looking at the remnants of the eclipse as well. So we're looking up now and see a crescent.
Oh, wow. It's almost like hauntingly beautiful through the clouds. It really adds to the experience, actually.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So
And I think, Amaresh, we actually had a question for you if you can hear us. I mean, you're the chair of the board of directors of the SETI Institute, and a lot of your work focuses on the future of humanity in space. So sharing this type of event with, hi, Cyan Proctor, hello, Dr. Cyan. We'll be talking to her in just a moment.
you're coming up soon. Yeah. Science
What
going to
is
join
this?
for this question. So
What
we're
is
both
this
staring
like?
at the sliver of the sun now. Still.
How much is that? Yeah.
Do you think they can hear us?
I don't know, can you hear us,
We-
Amaresh?
We can hear you.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Did you want to finish your question?
Yeah, just to finish the question, what do you hope that people take away from sharing an event like this to build our future in space and on Earth together?
Wonderful question. Yeah, so one thing that this reminds me of the SETI Institute, of course, we're the only organization that is multidisciplinary, answering the question, are we alone? And one of the most recent discoveries that humanity has made is that everywhere we look in the night sky, almost every star that we see has planets. And to date, 6,000 or more exoplanets have been discovered. And so it's one of the most revolutionary discoveries that humanity has made over the last few years is that see as planets around it. So one thing that strikes me and strikes the entire SETI community is that imagine how many of those planets have intelligent life and how many of those intelligent nations are experiencing a moment like this, where the wonderful ballet between moons of their planet and their star coincide in such a way they have an eclipse as well. And I think that's a very inspiring message to both the SETI community and those outside of it as well, that this may be a common unifying trait of intelligent civilizations around not only our galaxy, but other galaxies between the universe.
Thank
And
you so much.
Of course. I'm going to turn to Cyan too, and I'm going to thank you.
Thank you, Amaresh.
It's so cute, they're just sharing earphones.
I know, I love it.
Cyan, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Amazing. So y'all are in for a treat. This is Dr. Cyan Proctor. She is a geoscientist, an artist, an astronaut, and she was the first African-American woman to pilot a spacecraft with the Inspiration 4 mission back in 2021.
Woo!
Yeah. She's also just in general an amazing person, and I recommend you get to know her as best you can. Diane, how was that eclipse for you?
It was amazing. Even with the clouds, you know, they parted just enough so we could see the slivers of light disappear, darkness, and then reemerge. It was beautiful.
And you've lived in some pretty unusual places, like an analog extraterrestrial habitat, spaceship in orbit around Earth. Does Iceland during an eclipse feel like anywhere else you've ever been?
Iceland is so unique and so beautiful from a geologic perspective, from its history. I can't imagine being anywhere else than here with all of these amazing experiences, this amazing experience, and just the wonder.
Wow, yeah. I wish we could be there too, but it's great to have you with us, at least remotely. And you're also an artist. Are you going to try to write or create something based off this eclipse, or to remind you of any art you've already made?
I have been sharing so much of my stories while I've been here. But one of my most proud moments was when I was in space and I realized I was being bathed in Earth light. And I was able to look back and write a poem about Earth light. And it reminds me that as that light comes in, it's not sunlight that we experience here, it's actually Earth light. And how we can sunlight into unique medium that is light. And we live in a light world.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to see what kind of art that comes out of this for you. And thank you for being here with us and sharing this experience. I mean, it's such a unifying thing to be able to share this experience with you from Iceland. So again, thank you both.
Thank you.
Let's give them a quick hand.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I think we're passing it to
Laurent with the UN Office of Outer Space Affairs.
I feel like
I
that was
have no
Ari.
idea what they've ever been to.
All right, I think that we're going to go ahead and tune into some other amazing guests that we have here today. Maybe we can still be able to see the eclipse as now the moon is finished passing in front of the sun and it's going to start to get brighter. So hopefully we'll still be able to see that, but we're going to have a couple of other guests come up and join us on the stage today. So I think it's time to hear from Dr. Nelly Benhayoun Stepanian, the organizer of the International Space Orchestra that just played for us during Totality.
Hello!
Welcome.
How are we all doing? Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing this experience with us here today. It's just incredible.
I mean, thank you to all of them. Thank you to all of you for putting this amazing event together. And everyone in the audience, I promise the International Space Orchestra a standing ovation today. Do we think we can make that happen together? Because
Yeah, we see. Oh, it's happening
Because
now.
actually-
Yes.
not yet, not yet, not yet. wait. No. Not now, not now. In a bit. This was just a rehearsal, a dress rehearsal for what's coming, because you're gonna get to hear them twice, in fact, because of course we're gonna see a bit more, right?
Yes, we're going to see Totality from Spain here in just a little bit, which is really fantastic. 2 eclipses out of 1 eclipse. That's pretty great. So just to hear a little bit more about the International Space Orchestra, tell me what it is and why you felt called to create and gather this amazing group.
So, you know, the International Space Orchestra, we've been going on for 4 years. They are all incredible scientists. They are incredible human before being anything else, to be honest. And we've been sharing this space together for 14 years, performing, singing together, just reflecting as well on the future of space exploration together. And it's very humbling to be a part of the International Space Orchestra. And I started it for that reason, because I feel like, you know, there is other narrative to be said about outer space and about space exploration. And often in the media, we hear the story of the 1%, right? But there is, you know, space and a total eclipse is actually a really good way to be reminded that space and outer space is for everyone, you know? It's like you just have to look at the night sky in the evening, look at the moon, witness a total eclipse to be reminded that actually space is probably the most accessible thing that we have. And I think music is also such an amazing component to be reminded as well about this kind of like, you know, universal common that we share. And so that's why we started the International Space Orchestra, to actually like bring in this narrative, the one of culture, the one of compassion, the one of care, the one of cooperation as well. You know, we, as a member of an orchestra, you have to listen to each other. You might not agree. They might not agree with each other day in and day out. They might not the same pieces, but when they perform in the International Space Orchestra, they all have to listen to each other, and that's, I think that's quite beautiful, and that's to be, you know, to be applauded as well.
Yeah, beautiful in concept and in execution, I would say. And what about the piece you just played? How did you choose that? What was it?
Yes, so I know that we PGRV Polly watching the live stream here, and PGRV is this incredible musician that put together this piece of music that you've heard, which is called Voyager, that is written from the perspective of a satellite, the Voyager probe, basically, that was launched, that was a space mission launched in 1977. And it's really dear to our heart at the SETI Institute. Lauren, do you want to share a bit more about actually why is it so important to us at the SETI Institute that, you know, the Voyager mission is being, you know, somewhat taken a part of this live stream?
I mean, absolutely. The Voyager mission, it's almost like a piece of our, it's a piece of perspective, right? It's exited the solar system, it's on its way out. It's the only instruments that have been sent out that far. And as we search for extraterrestrial intelligence, that's the first step, is expanding our horizons, starting to look outside of our solar system for confirmation or the opposite.
But then also the Voyager mission was put together by Carl Sagan, who is one of the founders of the SETI Institute. And inside the Voyager probes, there is this golden record, which is, you know, a form of greeting. It's composed with music. There is as well images, and it's supposed to be for what might be out there. And so when PGRV, when Polly put this piece of music together, she, you know, she wanted to write it from the perspective of that probe, and it's going to be part of like a longer piece of work that she's going to do around the cosmos. And actually, I'm really excited because, of course, this orchestra will never sound like it sounds today if it wasn't for the musical director, Evan Price. Evan and I have been working together for 14 years. He is a two-time Grammy Award-winning jazz musician. And he made a special orchestration of PGRV song, Voyager for you today, that you got to hear just now with the Eclipse. Do you want to say a few words, Evan, about, you know, how it is to work with the orchestra and how you put this piece of music, you orchestrated
Sure.
the piece?
Hi, I'm Evan Price. It's an honor to stand in front of these folks, both as musicians, as people, and as scientists. I'm humbled every time that I stand in front of them because they, for some reason, respect me as a musician almost as much as I respect them as scientists. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the song that we performed and will perform again during Totality. The song Voyager by P.J. Harvey is a very new song by this great songwriter, and it just seemed to fit us perfectly, our purpose. Part of the mission of the orchestra is to reveal the humanity behind space exploration. And the people before you are the ones who are making it happen and reaching out. And the song fits us perfectly because it's written almost from the perspective of Voyager herself, looking back on Earth and seeing the preciousness, and the beauty, and the humanity. See, I'm getting choked up because it really gets me. But the beauty of kindness and love, and how precious and small all of that is, and how we need to preserve our own home as we look out into the cosmos. That both perspectives are important.
Thank you, Evan. And worry not, Evan and I are speaking quite a bit now, but you're going to hear from the International Space Orchestra member themselves in a bit. So stay tuned on the live stream because you're going to meet with some incredible, amazing people. I'm so honored to be spending time with, you know. So yeah, thank you, Evan.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Evan. And I think that that is such a fantastic piece to showcase because it not only shares our cultures, our society in space. Now we're playing that during a solar eclipse. That's just absolutely an incredible piece. So thank you. Speaking of music and art, so you are an artist, you're a designer of experiences. So in the context of an eclipse, what aspects of an eclipse kind of inspire you most to create more art, to move forward with your different endeavors?
I mean, for me, again, and I didn't mention it, but it's like, for me, the eclipse is really a good moment to be reminded that we all share that same sky, right? And so we have to go beyond our, you know, our opinions, beyond, we actually have to like look at it from the same eyeballs in a way. And so in that perspective, for me, it really inspired global cooperation. And I think, you know, currently I'm like developing a project called Heart Snatcher, which is really focusing on what's going to happen in 2030 when the International Space Station is getting decommissioned. So I don't know if you know that, but the International Space Station that we have currently orbiting the Earth is going to get decommissioned. And there is no big plan by which we are all together getting coordinated and seeing things eye to eye again. So there is like a huge opportunity for us to think about what we can build as humanity together again. And so that's kind of like something that I'm really excited to explore in a new project, but then they will be also exploring it because they make all of the soundtracks of all the projects I do. You know? So the International Space Orchestra is going to hear about the International Space Station many times in the next, like, you know, 5 years. But yeah.
How many soundtracks is that to date, do you think?
I mean, you mean how many? So I mean, the International Space Orchestra. So just to kind of like put it out there as well, they've been performing with Kid Cudi, they've been performing with Sgro, they've performed with Beck, they've done the Davis Symphony Hall, Fillmore. You know, they are like proper Hollywood Bowl. They are proper rock stars, you know, like, I mean, so yeah, you know, they've been, at this point, I think we've had about maybe 10 pieces of music. One of them was actually written by our flight director here and astronaut Gaggle, and it was a reenactment of the Apollo 11 space mission, so yeah.
Can you talk a little, is this, hello? Yes. Can you talk a little bit more about the other side of who they are? So now we've heard about all their musical chops, but they're flight directors, they work for NASA in all these different capacities, such as what?
I mean, they, you know, the International Space Orchestra is something that they do outside of their working hours. They do it as a passion project. But, you know, during the daytime, they actually are all leading space mission, you know, whether it's Kepler, whether it is, but I'm sure they will be able to talk about it much better than I do. So I don't want to take their space when it comes to like speaking about their space mission. But yeah, indeed, they all work in different sectors at NASA or at the SETI Institute, or even we have space lawyers. We have people working in all different, you know, layout of space and space exploration, which of course is a huge realm of roles and jobs and opportunities. And I think that's also really exciting for any young generation out there to know that when it comes to space exploration, you know, we can think really completely outside of the remedy of the, you know, of the discipline, because actually, you know, for example, we have research called astrobotany, you know, sending plants in outer space, as opposed to humans, for example. We have, you know, astrobiology, which we do, for example, at the SETI Institute, looking for form of life on other planets. You know, there is so many, like, super exciting, like, you know, new disciplines are being built. And, you know, you have to invent everything for them. So you have to use your imagination to come up with, like, a new strategy about how you're going to go about finding life on other planets, you know. How are you going to go about sending plants on, you know, on the space station, for example, and what that might mean for humanity. You know, like, all of these different aspects are, I think, extremely exciting. And also for us to think about how we can also look at outer space as for what it could be otherwise. You know, we don't need to repeat history. We don't need to redo the same horror that we've done here on planet Earth. We can actually start thinking bigger And that's kind of like what I'm really excited about. And I think this is what music does so well, because, you know, you felt it yourself, like it really gets you into your guts and you remind you, you know, that you're human.
It's inspiring, is what it is. Well, thank you, Nelly. We'll hear from you again later. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the International Space Orchestra, everyone.
Dr.
You're going to
Nelly,
hear us
everyone.
twice, one more time.
Yes, oh my gosh, and thank you, that was a wonderful conversation. We have another one next coming in from Greenland, from Dr. Becca Robinson, who just joined the live stream. Hello, Becca, how are you?
Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I hope it's not too windy out here, but I'm here in the Fjord in Greenland. The vibes are immaculate. We are about almost 40 minutes out from Totality. You can see there are quite a few clouds here, but there were not for Totality. We got a wonderful sharp corona. We got, spoiler alert, a really beautiful solar prominence in the southwest side.
Amazing.
And we just I'm full of crying.
Wow. Well, congratulations on the good weather, being able to see Totality in all these provinces. My goodness. So you are on a boat in Greenland, right? What exactly are you doing there?
Yes, so I have joined an expedition to Northeast Greenland on the SH Diana. This is a ship with Swan Hellenic, an expedition cruise company. And I've been hired by a company called Astro Trails, who have gathered people together who are eclipse enthusiasts, eclipse chasers, to go to some of the most remote places on the line of Totality that we thought might still have a good chance of good weather. And it turns out it was a pretty good bet for us. So I'm here as a guest lecturer, a guest heliophysicist, someone who can sort of try and explain what we've just seen as best as I can, as I try to pull myself together from the experience of this. And we're just enjoying ourselves in the high Arctic, marveling at the nature, both on Earth and off of it.
That is incredible. I can't believe that she's on a boat in Greenland watching the eclipse. Like, that
Typical.
is got to be one of the best days ever. It's so cool. So in your opinion, out of all of the work that you do, you're a heliophysicist, you study the sun professionally, what do you think is the coolest science that we can get out of an eclipse that we can't get during other times observing the sun?
Well, one of the neat things is that when the moon is covering the brightest part of the sun, so the photosphere or the surface of the sun, we can actually see the relatively dim solar atmosphere that we call the corona. And it is at this layer that so many dynamic things happen between the plasma of the sun and the sun's magnetic field. And that's something that we just can't see from Earth without a solar eclipse. Now, another cool thing, a campaign that we are running up here in the Arctic, is we were looking for dayside auroras or daytime auroras. These are auroras that happen during the dayside of our planet. It's impossible to see with the naked eye without something obscuring the sun. And so during this all too brief 2 minutes and 17 seconds, I was also scanning the Arctic sky along with many other collaborators in the high Arctic today, looking for any dayside auroras. And I didn't see any pop out, but we're going to look through photos and we're going to submit those photos to citizen science initiatives, particularly the Project Aurorasaurus, so that we have that data. There are so few times that we're able to collect data like that. So it was really cool to be part of that campaign today.
Wow. And did it hit different for you, given that you study the sun professionally, to see these things that you normally think about, abstractly or maybe even model on a computer with your own eyes?
Oh, of course. And it's so hard for me to put it into words right now. Maybe I should have live streamed you in like an hour or two when I'm a little bit more together. But I guess this is authentic, right? I just remember that first moment when the diamond ring came in and that sharp pop of the spiky corona made itself visible for the first time. It's so meaningful for me to be able to see that naked eye without the aid of the instruments I use every day. And to see that prominence pop out in a bright pink, I just didn't expect the colors to be so sharp. I didn't expect to be so impacted by it. And by the end of Totality, I felt just a little something rolling down my cheek. And so I must have been feeling something.
Well, I think that the emotions are very much warranted from seeing something so incredible. Especially, you know, most astronomers, they don't get to have that experience with the thing that they study all the time. And I know the sun's not coming closer, but I'm sure it feels like you get to see the sun up close and personal.
Yeah, definitely. It's a piece of the sun we don't often get to see from the Earth at all. If we want to see the corona, usually we design instruments to look in different types of light than visible light, and we have to usually send them up into space in order to get that detail in the corona. So it really is a special and very precious thing for me to be able to see it in its bright glory from one of my favorite places on Earth, the high Arctic.
Yeah, that is really, really lucky, and I'm grateful that you were able to see it, because it doesn't seem like everyone in Iceland was. But
yeah.
Just for people who are maybe don't think about the sun quite as often as you, is there anything in particular that you love about the sun, or that you've learned about the sun in your career that you think is underappreciated or maybe not so well advertised?
I think the most important thing for me, which I think ultimately is why I went into this field, is that we are very intimately connected with the sun. We are impacted, of course, by the sun. We experience its energy in the form of light and heat. We live inside of its magnetic influence. But I think even in scientific context, it's often missed the magnitude and the importance of that sun-Earth connection, and how much this life-giving star really means to us, both physically and unphysically. And it's been such a joy to be in a situation today where I can be reminded of that connection, both physical and unphysical, and then share a very intimate moment with lots of different people who are able to feel that same sensation today.
I mean, that is incredible, and it's really cool that you are here today as a geophysicist sharing with us live during an eclipse your favorite things about the sun. So thank you for that. I love the full story. And speaking of your work on the sun, you're actually, I don't think I mentioned this before, but you're the director of education here at the SETI Institute, and you're also working on a solar mission called Muse. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Because that's so interesting.
Yes. So incidentally, Muse is an instrument that is being designed to study the very layer of the sun that I just witnessed with my eyes. But instead of looking at it in visible light, we're going to explore the sun's atmosphere, the corona, in extreme ultraviolet light. It is a type of ultraviolet light that we don't get here on Earth because the Earth's atmosphere absorbs it. So if we want to understand the sun in that type of light, which tells us where some of the hottest, most dynamic, most explosive plasma lives in the sun's atmosphere, then we have to design a space mission to go above the Earth's atmosphere where it can actually collect that type of light. And what it will be is a combination camera and spectrograph. And we will use that spectrograph to collect the fingerprints of that extreme ultraviolet light to understand the physics behind how that light is generated. When we look at the sun and collect spectra from the sun, what that means is we're collecting physical information like temperature, velocity of the plasma, and turbulence of the plasma. So how messed up it is and how disorderly it might be. A lot of times that disorder points back to different dynamics in the sun's magnetic field, which we're still figuring out how to understand. We're still figuring out how the sun's magnetic field plays a part in generating solar flares, in launching coronal mass ejections, which are these big explosions on the sun, and what launches the solar wind. And MUSE, the Multi-Slit Solar Explorer, this new instrument, aims to help us understand those things by collecting extreme ultraviolet spectra from the layer of the sun that I just saw.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but when is that mission slated to launch?
We are scheduled to launch sometime next year, no earlier than summer, but fingers crossed that we have a successful launch next year.
Yes, Asa just knocked on the table. It's not made of wood though, so we're trying. We're trying to help you out from afar. That sounds like a really multifaceted mission, and I'm really excited to see what kind of science comes out of it.
Yeah, and I love the way that you put it, describing your relationship with the sun during the eclipse. I mean, I think it is one of the few moments where it's really obvious, like in our bones, we experience that. We live in the planet orbiting, on a planet orbiting a star, and it's almost like, I don't know, like biblical or philosophical or existential or something to see the thing that we take for granted is giving us light and energy and health and power every day be blotted out. It's intense and dramatic and a little scary.
And to be able to share that with people from around the world, it's not only the people locally, but with people online, with people here at the California Academy of Sciences. It's a beautiful experience. And
thank you for being here with us. We're going to go over to Spain now. We hope you enjoy the solar eclipse.
Thank you, Becca.
Thank you so much.
All right, and we actually still have our live stream from Austria. We've got that partial eclipse being shown from one of our citizen astronomers there, and I see Greg is up on the screen now. Greg, hello, can you hear us?
Oh, we cannot hear you, Greg. It looks like you're muted. Can you try again?
There we go. Yep, you unmuted it. Thank you. Yep, I am here in Burgos, Spain. We're just, less than 10 minutes from Totality here. Incredible.
Oh, that's amazing. You have good weather.
Yes, it's gorgeous. It's just perfect. I hope our friends in Iceland have the same. I have some friends there. There's a whole bunch of people from all around the world, literally hundreds all around me here. It's fantastic.
And how does the sky look right now? It's a little bit hard to tell through your stream, but how close is it to sunset? Is there color in the sky yet or anything like that?
Well, it is a very weird feeling right now. We're at just T-minus a few minutes. This is what happens all the time when just before Totality is you get a sky that's really unlike anything you've ever seen before. This is why I call myself an umbraphile. I'm an eclipse addict. This is my 7th one, and I couldn't recommend it more highly to everyone who's there.
It's happening.
It actually, it looks like he's on a safari hunting for eclipses right now, and I love it. He's got the eclipse shirt. He's all ready. And just so that we introduce him properly, Greg is actually a space scientist and longtime leader of NASA lunar and planetary exploration. So thank you so much for being here with us today during your travels to Spain.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It's good to talk to everyone and good to say hi to everyone back home in San Francisco.
And also, another claim to fame for Greg is that he helped build NASA's 2024 eclipse coverage. I don't know if any of you all saw that, but it won an Emmy. And I'm so curious if there are any moments from that eclipse that you still think about, or any creative decisions you made about producing that show that you're still proud of?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that I'm proud of is that I let the technical crew do what they do best. We had gone down a path that wasn't right, and we changed that, and so I'm happy about that. The other thing that really sticks in mind is all the young Mexican children that we talked with, my staff talked with, and introduced eclipses to. It was just truly fantastic. So it was an effort for the ages, just really incredible.
And Greg was actually telling me as we were getting everything set up that he's seen, I think like over 10 total solar eclipses. What was the number for you?
7, actually. Yeah,
7, okay. I rounded up, I'm so sorry.
that's okay.
So what's different about this eclipse for you? You've traveled to solar eclipses? How does this feel different in this day and time?
You know, it's a lot like other ones. It's going to be a little bit shorter than the last one, which was in Mexico. I've traveled all around the world to Argentina, Brazil, a couple in the U.S. My first one was in 1979, and I'm going to have to go because I have to make a couple of camera adjustments because Totality is almost here, and you guys are going to see it through this live stream.
Absolutely, that is fine. Please go do your eclipse thing. We'll actually talk to you after Totality if that's okay, and we can actually see your equipment set up behind you, so it'll be cool to watch if that's all right.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, enjoy the show, everyone.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank
It's
you.
incredible that he had turned around to face us instead of the eclipse for as long as he did.
Actually, that's a really profound statement. Yeah, there's something really beautiful about us taking the time to share this with each other as well as just witness it ourselves. And in the live stream, you can actually see the sun setting. So unlike Iceland, the sun right now in Spain is really low on the horizon, creating this sunset eclipse. I'm so glad that they have good weather.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. And Lauren, you've also, we were talking about Greg's past experiences with 7 solar eclipses. You've also seen solar eclipses before, yes?
I have. I saw 2 total solar eclipses and an annular eclipse, and I have never gotten clouded out, which is pretty incredible, and all of them were visible from the US, so it was easy for me to access. But there's such a interesting parallel between each total solar eclipse. They're the same but different, especially the one a couple of years ago where you could see solar prominences during Totality. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see that one as well. And it was incredible to see these tongues of plasma, larger in size than Earth, just expanding off the sun.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was one prominence that was colorful. This is kind of like plasma being kind of ejected from the sun, not actively, but it forms in a loop around the sun and sticks out from the surface. And it was visible during that eclipse. And I really wonder if they're going to see anything like that today. All right, well, you know what? I think it seems like from the live stream, it looks like Totality in Spain is actually about to happen in just a couple of minutes. So do you know what that means?
I think I do.
It's go for ISO.
Oh my goodness. That was incredible. That was even better than the first time.
If that was possible, it was.
And Greg, are you still with us? I saw you grinning from ear to ear while that eclipse was happening. Can you hear us?
And he clapped. It was very emotional.
I'm not sure if y'all could see on the screen, but we could see.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm giving away a couple of NASA pins here.
That's great.
Is he breaking out eclipse glasses?
so much. Thank you.
Is that
Looks
what's
like
happening? Yeah. Yes. So for those who don't know, it's safe to look at the sun during totality with your naked eye, but not
Excuse me?
otherwise.
And you need specially
Yeah.
approved eclipse glasses. Otherwise, you'll hurt your eyeball. Same with, also maybe don't use your phone camera.
Very true.
You could hurt your
yes.
phone. Were you able to make out those prominences, Greg, with your naked eye?
I'm sorry?
Were you able to make out any prominences or, like pink with your naked eye?
Yes, absolutely. There were a couple of them that were really nice. The corona always has a really interesting shape, and it's very unique for each eclipse. Based on like you heard with a speaker previous to me, based on the solar magnetic field, based on the time in the solar cycle, and all that. So yeah, it was. It's pretty much impossible to describe the experience. It's very emotional. So you might have heard a lot of screaming and stuff going on during totality. Pretty amazing.
What was the reaction of everybody else around you during totality?
They were just, yelling out. I know that the music played, so you might not have heard it, but I guess it's astonishment. And I tell you, it's something being a trained scientist myself and having the background, knowing what's going on with all of this. My background is lunar science. It still doesn't even come close to the emotional reaction that you get when the sun, when the sun goes out in the middle of the day like this, and it's something that touches, I suppose, a very primal sort of part of us, and it's why so many people just like me chase these all over the world.
Yeah, we were just talking about with Becca as well, that same thing, how elemental it is. I remember when I saw the 2024 eclipse, there were people next to me who were jumping up and down, excited. There were people next to me who were crying, they were laughing. It was like the whole gamut of human emotion on display. So grateful you got to see that and share it with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's really a privilege, and I'm glad that it worked out this way with doing the iPhone, because you could see the surroundings. I hope you got a good view of that, and because quite honestly, it's fabulous looking at the sun close up, but it's also nice looking at the landscape around you. And so this way you had both views.
Did you notice any other changes? Maybe wildlife or different sounds around you? Did the temperature drop? Did the wind pick up?
Yeah, I didn't really notice too much as far as wind. I have in the past, but the temperature definitely dropped, which being here in Spain in summer is a good thing. But other eclipses I've been to, the 2019 July eclipse in Argentina, I remember it was in the low 80s outside, and it dropped, maybe even hotter. And it dropped about 20 degrees in the time before the eclipse. It was also a sunset eclipse like this.
That is a really big temperature change. That must have been so interesting to be present for. Well, I think we're going to let you go and enjoy the rest of your eclipse. Thank you so much for sharing this experience with us. The view from your camera and getting to witness that with you was just incredible. Seeing the sunset, seeing totality. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. And I want to give a big shout out to all of my International Space Orchestra friends there. I wish I could say hi in person. I wish I could have played with you. And when I heard the event was going to be scheduled with the eclipse, I had to go to the eclipse, of course. but I wish I could have been two places at once. So big hugs to all my International Space Orchestra friends, and look forward to playing with you again soon.
Yes. Thank you, Greg.
Thank
They're all
you.
clapping
Bye-bye.
for you if you can't see.
I can. Thank you. Thanks very much. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Do we know what instrument he plays?
What instrument does Greg play?
What does he play? The ukulele.
I would not have guessed.
Me neither. A man of many talents. That's fantastic. All right. Well, that was just an incredible experience. And here to kind of process all of that is Dr. Frank Marchese, the Director of Citizen Science at the SETI Institute, who helped organize this event. So welcome. Thank you so much for being up here with us today.
Thank you, everybody. Hi. How was that? You saw 2 eclipses in one morning. Come on.
And heard 2 orchestra pieces. It's just incredible, incredible. So right now we're actually showing a little bit of citizen science happening live. I believe this may be, yeah, this is Bruno Guillet. He is in France right now, not in the path of totality, but seeing the partial and sharing it with us today. Thank you so much, Bruno. What is the role of citizen science in events like this?
Yeah. So as you know, astronomers want to observe all the sky all the time, and we don't have enough astronomers in the world. I mean, there is probably something like 2,000 or something like that professional astronomers. But in fact, all of us can be astronomers. You can have a telescope, and you want to share your telescope with the scientific community. You can acquire observations, and you basically can observe for professional astronomers or together with professional astronomers. We have done that together, Lauren and I. We observe exoplanets. We have a network of 3,000 citizen scientists at Unistellar, and they have been contributing to observation of exoplanets, protecting our planet against asteroids impact, and they also do eclipses, as you can see today.
What are they doing during the eclipse, and what can a network of citizen astronomers do that like a big observatory can't?
They can move.
Yes.
Because as you may have noticed, if it's cloudy, we're still limited by that. Unfortunately, we have not yet invented the machine that scatters the clouds away. We're working on this. Great.
It's a big fan.
You're gonna make a ton of money if you just put AI at the end, and you can raise as much money as you want for this project. But we can move around with some small telescopes. You cannot with those big telescopes. So you can basically acquire observation that could be missed by those professional astronomers who are stuck in Chile or in Hawaii.
Which are just terrible places to be stuck in. I can't imagine, honestly. So one of your citizen science ventures is the new SkyMapper network. So you've told me this is kind of like the internet of astronomy in a way. So how can we have something like that that makes events like this more accessible?
So the idea here with SkyMapper is to basically create the network. So if you have a telescope, if you have a camera, anything that can observe the sky, you connect this instrument to the network, and then it's part of the network. So that means that if a professional astronomer wants to see the sky in Chile right now, they can. If the museum here, the Academy of Sciences, wants to show on the dome an eclipse live, they will be able to do this. So we are creating basically the Internet of Astronomy, so we can have access to the sky and observe all the sky all the time.
Which is a wonderful thing, and almost like we're doing a little bit of that here today, and it's such a profound experience. So
well, the idea came from eclipses, from our previous experiences. I'm going to mention, we started doing this kind of live of eclipses 4 or 5 years ago now, if I remember. And the previous one, we have saw how successful it has been to have all these people connected from everywhere in the world watching an eclipse and commented. We have thousands of viewers. And I'm an astronomer, and my goal as an astronomer is to bring back the sky to the people. I mean, if you live in cities, you don't see stars anymore because of the light we are putting everywhere. So we want to bring back people to astronomy. And the main reason is because I believe that astronomy is part of humanity. We grew up watching the stars. All our legends, all our mythology is related to the stars. So it's part of us. And by not having view of the sky anymore, we are losing this connection. And losing this connection doesn't make us human anymore. We are spending way too much time in front of our cell phone, complaining on social media, instead of looking up and enjoying the beauty of the sky and talking about it together. So today with the International Space Orchestra, with this event, this is basically an attempt to bring this back, and I think we succeeded, so thank you to everybody involved here. And we are going to do that with the SkyMapper network regularly. Every time there's something happens in the sky, a new comet, an asteroid flying by, you will be able to see it live anywhere in the world.
Wow, well, that's incredible. I hope that it meets with great success. And if you want to be a part of this, you can be, right? This is not limited to some,
You can visit our website and use skymapper.io. You can just participate to acquire observation or share your observation with us. Just follow us and follow the SETI Institute. The SETI Institute is a scientific partner of this project.
Right. And I do think that we need to move on in a second, but I just wanted to talk really briefly. You saw what we just saw on the live stream. You witnessed Totality from Spain, and we saw the Corona through the European Space Agency live stream. We saw the prominences. What was that like for you in comparison to your other experiences with eclipses?
Well, seeing an eclipse live is something unique. It's very difficult to explain and to describe. And you have seen that with people where shortly after they see it, it's very difficult to explain the feeling you have. Today, I'm very happy we brought music to the live, because music basically brought back a memory of watching this eclipse for me. My first live eclipse was my first total eclipse was in Japan in 2005. And I do remember vividly listening to the Buddhist monk singing at the time of the eclipse, and I say, that's it. That's the way you bring back an eclipse to people. You bring music together with the eclipse. Thank you, Nelly. And thank you to the International Space Orchestra.
Well, on that note, thank you, Frank. I think we're going to turn it over to speak with some of the members of the International Space Orchestra and hear from them as individuals, once we get the mic to them.
Okay, so who do we have here that is going to tell us a bit more about who they are and how they got to the International Space Orchestra?
I'm Janice Bishop. I play clarinet, National Space Orchestra. I study the planet Mars. I'm a scientist at the SETI Institute and chair of planetary exploration. And what my work entails is characterizing minerals on the surface of Mars in order to retrace the geochemical history and where water was once present and find locations that could have been habitable in the past. The work we do is looking at special images from an orbiter, and they see more than just the red, green, blue that we see in many images, but we see 544 channels. So in addition to the red, green, blue that each of you sees, each of us in this room are a mini spectrometer, and your brain processes those three colors. We use these infrared channels as well that you can't see. And when I try to explain this to audiences, I always use music, because each tone you hear has a different wavelength. And all of the musicians here are lengthening or shortening those wavelengths through their string or horn instruments. And the same way in the laboratory, we use the different distances between atoms in the crystal network in order to have different frequencies that we can measure with the spectrometer. So, Oh, yes. And so my family's also here. My husband Lucas plays trombone, Marcus plays euphonium, Katie plays flute. So we often play quartets at home, and when the ISO first started, they were tiny and they would sit in the corner and watch. And now they've grown up and they get to play with us too, which is really fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janice. And now we have Scott Paul with us as well, violinist and also scientist.
Thank you. This is Scott Pohl, violin with the International Space Orchestra. I work at NASA Ames Research Center in the Intelligent Systems Division. So we are the largest division at NASA Ames Research Center. We do a lot with autonomy, robotics, flight critical software for spacecraft missions, verification and validation technologies, fault management. So a whole bunch of smart people working to basically advance the missions of NASA across all of the mission directorates. So, you know, now actually we've done a restructuring. So now we used to have Aeronautics Research Mission Directorate, Space Technology Mission Directorate. Those have now been merged into the Research Technology Directorate. We perform experiments and support everything from research type to actually flying on missions out in both International Space Station, but also upcoming missions to the moon for the Viper rover, which is going to be investigating water in the shaded regions of the south pole of the moon. So I think that's probably enough.
Thank you so much. And you've been with us for 14 years.
Yes, I'm an original member of the International Space Orchestra.
And so is Janice and the family as well. We saw you all small when you were like little babies, actually, like before you grew up. And we have Miriam here, who is part of the choir.
Hello, my name is Miriam Strautkins, and I am a former computer scientist with Ames Research Center in their Intelligent Systems Division. I am also married to the guitarist, Dr. Matthew Daigle. I am also, yeah, clap for him. I'm also good friends with Scott Pohl, who coincidentally was a part of the group effort to connect Matt and I when we were working together. Scott. I am currently continuing my graduate research with artificial intelligence and autonomous vehicles and hope to help aid research projects that where autonomous vehicles will go where researchers cannot physically go, just because that's where all the most interesting things to me are. I have been in the ISO for, I think, 7 years now. I joined after my husband encouraged me because I love singing. I've just found a lot of satisfaction from singing and music, and art in general. And I think that this event is very special just because if you look through history, the human impact and emotional connection to the eclipse, you can see through art when it comes to the very first cave paintings, medieval, Renaissance art. There are always these wonderful depictions of the eclipse. And I think it's wonderful that we all get to experience it together. So.
And actually, you can see the new member of the International Space Orchestra have got less patch on their jumpsuit than the, former member of the International Space Orchestra. Because every time we perform, we have like a new patch being added into our jumpsuits. So we have one for actually today, but maybe Annette, you can tell us about the new patch. And you've been with us for 14 years as well.
I've been with the International Space Orchestra since the beginning. I got an email telling me that there was this woman in London who wanted to bring all musicians from NASA Ames Research Center together and thought she could form this orchestra. I thought it was pretty unbelievable, so I had to check it out. I sent her an email and said, "Will you include a ukulele in your orchestra?" And she said, "What is an ukulele?" Anyway, the rest is history. I came to the first meeting and worked with all of these wonderful folks when I was at NASA. I'm retired now. I'm one of the older members from the International Space Orchestra. When I was at NASA Ames Research Center, I did astronaut training on experiments that flew on the space shuttle and then later flew on the space station. And then I worked my way into positions that weren't as much fun in management, and you'll see the listing there. Since retiring, the International Space Orchestra helped me. When you retire, you look at what makes you happy, and music makes me happy. I have ukulele groups that I train similar to the way Nellie did, bringing people together who didn't think they could play and playing some interesting pieces. And I also teach seniors on how to use their iPhone. Anybody need any help there? Anyway, love the International Space Orchestra, love this, this venue, and bringing us all together to realize that we're all together in this universe.
Thank you so much, Annette. And our last speaker from the International Space Orchestra today, but you can come and meet them in a bit. And then I'm sure you can find us as well online later on. But Olivia, do you want to say a bit about, cello? And you're missing one of your colleagues as well, Matt Linton, who usually the Mohawk, has been with us from the beginning. I don't know if, Matt, you're watching, but we love you, and we're sorry you couldn't be with us today.
Yes, hi everyone, Olivia Bainey, one of the two cellos. Unfortunately, Matt could not join us, but next time. I was lucky enough to launch my career in Earth observation at NASA Ames through the NASA Develop program. So what this means, instead of looking up, as a career I actually spend my life looking down, using satellite imagery to look at different features on the Earth. So I've been lucky enough to work on projects around measuring Arctic sea ice decline, water quality, and also wildfire risk, which what I do now is work with utility companies using satellite imagery to identify and mitigate wildfire vegetation risk along their networks. So joined ISO through the NASA Bluegrass Band is how I got recruited. And yeah, very lucky to be here.
Okay, well, I think that's us, right? Like we have to wrap. Do we want, like, a flight director, Rodney, anyone want to say a last word? This is the time to say it.
Sure, last word. Hi, I'm Rusty Hunt. I play Barry Sachs in the ISO. I got the same email that Annette did back in 2012. Been with the group the whole time. At Ames, I am a flight director for lunar missions, recently retired. And as a flight director, the flight director who is on shift is the person that's in the room with all the controllers controlling the spacecraft. The flight director directs the team and pulls on the expertise of the people when something's going on. Like Jasper Wolf is the lead engineer for Viper that was mentioned, lunar rover that's going to be there. Andrew Henry is the ground system lead. And so if something goes wrong with a computer or a network or one of the many pieces of software, I ask Andrew what's wrong. It's the rover itself. I ask Jasper. If they're both happening at the same time, I have to figure out, can we fix them both at the same time, or who gets to go first? And it's a lot like what Evan does as the director of the ISO. I've been thinking about this. There's a lot of parallels. There is, watch Evan. He's keeping everyone together. Flight director does that. Periodically, I'll give a briefing to the team. Hey, we're here. Evan has to, make sure we know. Hey, here comes letter A. Come on, strings. It's your time. And and then also there's a lot of preparation. With the running the mission with a lunar rover, there's an immense amount of time and planning that goes into it, and there's a lot of rehearsals. And then there's the actual event. And Evan, I don't know how long he takes doing these. He writes the arrangements that we play, and then he conducts the rehearsals very patiently with us. And then finally come down here and we do a song that takes 4 minutes. And that's kind of how it is being a flight director. Except a flight director has all these experts. They're all the very best. all the best at what they do. Evan does not have that benefit with us, and yet somehow he manages to make it come out good. So anyway, great job. And thank you, Nellie, for all the places you've taken us.
Thank you, Rusty. Thank you to the International Space Orchestra. Thank you to my partner in crime, Evan Price, as well. And with that in mind, and also to the Villa Albertine in San Francisco for hosting me during this trip. And you will see a lot of me next year in San Francisco because I'm going to be in residency at the Villa Albertine. So with that in mind, we're going to, well, this is us. We're going to hand over the microphone. I'm saying, oh, okay, Q&A. All right.
So that was amazing. Thank you all for giving such wonderful explanations of your work, and it's fantastic to be surrounded by so many incredible scientists and musicians. With that, I want to thank everybody that's been on the live stream, joining us from all over the world. If you have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the comments. I think we have a little bit of time for some questions from our audience in person here at the California Academy of Sciences, whether for Nellie, for members of the ISO, whoever you'd like to ask. So we'll take a few questions in person and then take a few from the live stream.
Any question? Do you have any questions?
Just a comment. It's so much fun to see you. Everybody looks so happy, so smiling. I'm looking at this face who's smiling at the speaker. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Thank you for the performance.
Thank you so much. So the comment was to say that you all look like you're smiling a lot. It's because actually we've been told to smile. No, we are smiling usually.
This question is for Dr. Jackie. Did you work on Perseverance in 2021, or the Janice, Dr. Janice? Did you work on Perseverance in 2021?
I do study Mars from orbit, and I am not on the Perseverance rover team, but we all get to use the data, so I've been anxious to use the data, and I'm actually working since about December with a group from France and from the University of Massachusetts in Amherst. We're coordinating the CRISM spectra from orbit with the spectra collected by the rover, and so we have different scales and different wavelengths, but it's really exciting because when we're looking from orbit, we see 18 meters averaged at once, so maybe the area where these chairs are together, and that's one data point. And when the rover's looking, they're looking at about a millimeter, or maybe a centimeter, depending on where they're looking. So to ground truth what we're seeing from orbit, and we're amazed at how similar the data is, which is phenomenal. So that's really exciting.
More questions? Who do we have here?
I'm just wondering if anybody can tell me anything about the Rosalind Franklin rover that's going to Mars in 2028.
Anyone wants to speak about that? Mars? 2028? Yeah, but Janice, you're speaking quite a bit. Huh? Do we have anyone else that can speak about Mars? Maybe it's only Janice, in fact. Our Mars specialist. Okay, well, here you go. Janice, tell us.
So ExoMars is going to be launched by the European Space Agency, and they've been so patient because they were initially supposed to launch in 2013, and a lot of politics around the world has changed their plans a few times, and we're hoping they're going to launch on time in a couple years. But their rover has a drill, which is really cool. It's going to drill down 1 or 2 meters, depending on how hard that regolith is, and it has a spectrometer. The kind of work I do from orbit, they're going to be able to put that down the drill hole, and that way we can coordinate the mineralogy observed at depth. And then on the surface, there's another spectrometer on the surface, plus a variety of instruments telling us the chemistry and other factors. So it's going to be really exciting. And the Rosalind Franklin rover is going to a place called Arum Chaos, which is right next to one of my favorite places on Mars called Mars Vallis. And there are tons of clays here, and we all think that the places with a lot of clay had a lot of water in the past and might be some of the best places to find life. So that's one of the things we're looking for.
Any more questions? Anyone? Well, if there is no more question, we really want to thank from the bottom of our heart PGRV for letting us.
Hold on now, because we're still going to have online questions as well.
We have online questions. Okay, great.
Yes. Can we see those for our Master of Ceremonies for the stream? Can we see those questions, please? I know they're there.
So we have one up on the screen right now. It says, Kavit God says, hey guys, can you tell me what color our star is? I heard it's a G-type star that's yellow from outer space. Is this true? Can somebody answer this for us?
What color our star is?
Any heliophysicists in the ISO want to take it? If not, we can.
Anyone? I mean, Frank, you always have.
I think it's you.
Lauren?
No, go for it.
Yes. The star is a G-type star. Our sun is a G-type star. We see it as yellow. The spectrum of our star actually peaks in the green, meaning that it's brightest in green light. But we see it as yellow because of the way that our eyes are made, essentially. So yeah, that was a great question, though. Do we have any others? We have a thank you for watching.
It's a great question.
Master of Ceremonies behind the scenes. Do we have any more for the ISO? I feel like I'm speaking to a ghost.
It's quite possible.
You can win a patch of the International Space Orchestra, actually. Do you want to say a bit about that?
You can absolutely tell them, please.
So, as I mentioned before, we have, one patch for each of our performances, and we don't give them away at all. You cannot buy them. It's quite precious. They know that because often one member of the International Space Orchestra is going to lose one of their patch, and then they hear me say this is not right. But we have one patch to give away with a special embroidery by Jennifer, actually, that has been done specially for the California Academy of Science Performance and this rendition of PGRV song. You can find it online on the SETI Institute Instagram, and you can, kind of like the post and so forth, and then you potentially can win it. So we will announce the winner tomorrow.
It's a really cool patch. We're showing it on the screen right now, and I see it on everybody's amazing jumpsuit uniforms here. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, did we get one of those or what?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, do you play an instrument?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, actually, you'll get one.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know. I need to ask the International Space Orchestra member if they are okay with this.
It's just a joke. Well, I think that's it then.
I think that is it. Any final thoughts from you today?
Well, I will say that the next total solar eclipse to grace us on planet Earth will be happening in August 2027. It's going to go through a bit of Europe, North Africa, the Middle East, places like Luxor. And that one is going to be a doozy because totality will last for up to about 6.5 minutes, which is more than 4 times what totality was for this eclipse that happened today. It's almost the longest that is physically possible for that to happen on Earth. So that one's going to be very cool. We'll see you back here then, probably. But also, I'll just say, as representative of the Planetary Society, if you like events like this, if you like connecting with the cosmos you live in, we're a nonprofit originally co-founded by Carl Sagan back in the day to advocate for people to connect with the universe, to learn more about it, but then also for space agencies like NASA to send missions of scientific exploration to search for life, to explore worlds, so that, every once in a while or more than once in a while when Congress wants to cancel the budget of a NASA mission, for example, we stand up, we represent thousands, millions really of people around the world and advocate in Congress for them to not do that. And we've been credited with helping save space missions in the past. So if that interests you, look us up. But also, I'm sure the SETI Institute also has some final thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. First, I just want to thank the International Space Orchestra, the California Academy of Sciences, our audience here, and our audience online from all over the world. Thank you for your comments, for your questions, and for being here with us today to share in this total solar eclipse, the first to be visible to mainland Europe since 1999. So this was a really big deal to share with you all, and it is an honor to share it with you. Just remember, the SETI Institute is a nonprofit organization, and so we are fueled by your engagement, by your donations. If you liked this live stream, for my friends online, if you liked this event, please come out next time, hopefully for the next total solar eclipse. Please keep watching and keep engaging with us because it really fuels our research. And with that, we will have another SETI Live next week with Becca Robinson, actually, who we saw today on a boat in Greenland. She won't be on a boat in Greenland for the next SETI Live. But with that, thank you, and we will see you next time. This was fantastic. Thank you, Asa.